Hey, this is Hardline Destructoid's video game news podcast. I'm Jordan DeVore, and I got two. Oh my God, Steven and Hamza are together in one shot. I love it. I don't know why. Why is this happening, guys?
Because you don't have internet at your house.
I don't have
You just
internet.
moved, right?
I just moved, so we're doing it in the office. And instead of being live in Hamza's bedroom, we figured we'd just share a couch.
I hope you guys do this going forward.
Yes.
This setup, and we also have Brett with us.
I don't have any friends though.
I know. If only Brett and I could also be doing that, sharing earphones. That'd be great.
This would be the most adorable podcast ever.
So we're nearly there. It's almost E3. That's next week. I think we were just going to start off by just talking about some of the stuff we're excited for. I mean, personally, it's all about that Project Beast. It seems pretty clear that that's a real thing. Even though I think it originally leaked from 4chan, which is always you're kind of skeptical about that, but it looks pretty legit. It looks like the next Souls game from Software. Yeah, I'm into it. I like that series a lot. Steven, I think you are too, right?
Yeah, I could go for that. I think for me the only game two games. Gravity Rush 2 is like I'm just whatever they give me for that. I'm down. I want that. And Mirror's Edge 2, which I am nervous about because EA's probably ruined it.
That's EA right now.
That's EA coming through. Like, how dare you talk shit? How dare you?
I honestly forgot Mirror's Edge 2 was a game coming out.
Yeah.
Because
Well, I guess
they announced so little, didn't they, when they made it
Yeah.
official?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that was a
There
while ago.
trailer.
no, there's a like CD trailer. or
Right.
whatever.
Exactly.
And we also learned that it's not really technically two. It's just a reboot. They made one game in the series, and then the next entry is a reboot.
I don't get, yeah.
That's why I'm nervous. I'm like they're probably ruined it already, but maybe.
I think we were the first outlet to actually break it because we learned some details right before the EA's press conference. I think there was something about it being open world as well.
Yeah, that was another part of nervousness because that doesn't mean well-designed small levels. So
Now that you go ahead, Brett.
I was gonna say add some zombies and you have Dying Light, right?
And you might as well use the Techland engine. So again, or whatever it's called.
Techland's putting it to good use. They're just gonna use it over and over.
I was going to say, now that you mentioning Mirror's Edge reminded me that, I am kind of interested to see what all the EA Star Wars stuff is like Battlefront in particular, but cautiously optimistic about that. I don't know.
Mildly curious about the one that Visceral's doing just because we know even less about it.
Yeah. What do we know about that?
Like
Anything?
nothing.
Yeah, we know
It's got the Uncharted writer,
Yep.
director on it, and I don't know. That's all I know.
They have a good engine to play off at least.
Yeah, that's
based engine.
a lot of, yeah.
Especially with the zero-G stuff. I mean, if they go to Bounty Hunter route, I mean, it won't be Star Wars 1313, but if they're smart, they realize that there was a big, desire for that game, so they could spin something off from that and just use Dead Space engine. I think they'd be
Kind of like how they're doing Battlefield Hardline, just reusing Battlefield assets and using the Battlefield name for no reason.
evidently. I feel like that's just EA, like just giving a giant fuck you to what is it, Overkill Studios? Or
Yeah, Payday.
yeah, the Payday guys. Because I mean, the guy who made Payday was ex EA, ex Dice, I believe.
Yeah, he wrote
that's
Battlefield
right.
3, no, Bad Company, and possibly Battlefield 3.
It seems like
sure
there's
anyone wrote Battlefield 3?
Well, he wrote that.
No one wants to take credit for that.
It seems like there's some pretty realistic hype for Battlefield Hardline though, which is cool to see.
I'm into it.
It seems like a lot of people are into it. All the comments on the YouTube videos and in our posts, like people seem genuinely interested, which I'm pretty excited about.
I think it's a couple things. It's one that oh look, it's Battlefield. It's not another military shooter. It's still a shooter, but at least it's not fucking Americans versus the Browns or whatever. I could see that joke. And the other thing is too, like, I mean, sure, there was Payday, but there wasn't that mainstream like build up around it. This is a very niche audience, I would say. The really well connected PC going audience. Whereas Battlefield, EA, they have that benefit of being like getting Hardline on TV and billboards and all these other things. And for a lot of people, this could be like the first time they're going to see like, whoa, a cops and robbers game, finally.
Mm-hmm. Payday kind of reminds me of like the Souls series in a way, where it's a very like in club crowd, or an in crowd club. Like those guys, they know what's up, and it doesn't get shared with the whole world necessarily. And so like the Payday community seems like really tight.
No, that's the weird thing though. Is like that Hardline could be good depending on how the scenarios are designed and how everything plays out, but it just does feel so shrewd. EA is like, well, we can't release another Battlefield because we're still fixing 4, and we need a Battlefield game to come out this year. Okay, Visceral, make a Battlefield game, but not really, but use all the same assets because that's okay.
Yeah. I did play. Yesterday I played Battlefield 4 for the first time in a few months because they had just released this new update that relating to the netcode, and I think it seemed better, but still, it's like they're still fixing stuff. It's ridiculous.
Did you catch that NeoGAF thread that went up yesterday where that title was Battlefield 4 has gone gold, and it was all the patch updates for the latest online stuff.
That was pretty great.
That was fucking brilliant.
Apparently EA is going to be handing out beta codes at E3, so some people will get to hop in and see what Hardline's all about ahead of time.
Brett, you like stuff at E3, don't you?
Dude, I'm so ungodly tired already, and E3 hasn't started yet. Like, I might die after E3.
We have to wait till after, though, not a moment too soon.
I'll turn in my final assignment, then heart will stop beating. What am I excited for at E3? Alien Isolation, still. I'm under embargo on that until the 10th, I think, but that still looks neato to me. I'm curious to see like how Sony and Microsoft. I'm always curious to see what they do with their platforms, as opposed to all the games they announce. I like to see how they evolve their services. So I have no idea what they might do, if it's going to be cool and better, or if it just sucks. But I always like seeing that stuff, the business side of things.
That's interesting because I don't care about services. I just care about games, and it's rare to see people who are really into the services and the platforms.
I like the business side of the industry because I'm a fucking loser.
Yeah.
I think I'm with Steven on this one. Whenever they have suits up there in their press conferences, I'm like, oh god, this again.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we already know that. What is it? Phil Spencer saying that.
Yeah.
The Xbox conference is going to be nothing but games for 90 minutes.
What I'm excited for is to see Jack Tretton analyze everybody's press conferences. That's what I'm excited for.
I know. I was so bummed when he left Sony, and as a result won't be doing their press conference, because he was always fun to watch in a weird way. Because he started up years ago, he was always so nervous during those things, and he's gotten better, and you're like, yeah, I'm rooting for you, Jack.
Dude, his last year doing this shit, he dropped a mic and did like Microsoft or whatever. It was like, I'm out.
That was awesome.
Like, yeah, it was kind of neat seeing his whole evolution from being shy to just being this cocky king of the mountain kind of thing. Like, I mean, that's where Sony is right now.
Like watching your child grow up to finally succeed, and then
proud of him.
Oh, Jackie T.
Well, we haven't really talked about Nintendo. I guess it's hard to say what I'm excited for there, just because I feel like a lot of their stuff, we have no idea what it's going to be until they announce it. But the new Metroid will be good.
I was going to say, yeah, I mean, for me, E3, probably the biggest thing is seeing what Nintendo's plan is. They're doing like live streams throughout the entire show, which is just fucking weird to see that from Nintendo embrace something.
Computers.
But I feel like, but I feel like that says a lot about their lineup. It has to say a lot, I hope, because I mean, you can't just have a bunch of dead air while you're doing 8-hour streams a day. So they have to have a pretty suitable content lineup that won't just be like a bullshit CG trailer.
They're gonna repeat 5 minutes of The Order for like the whole game.
So the neat thing about Nintendo is it seems like they're kind of engaging in guerrilla warfare. They're doing all this E3 shit this year that just isn't what companies typically do. They're doing a Smash Brothers tournament, which we won't get to see, but I bet that's going to be really cool. They're doing a whole bunch of Best Buy stuff. They're streaming. They're not doing the typical press conference. I think Nintendo might be the company to be kind of excited about this year.
Mhm.
Maybe they bought Guerrilla, the Killzone developer, and that's why they're doing all this guerrilla marketing.
That was a great groan in the background there.
That was Bill. I feel like also what they're doing is essentially just catering to their hardcore fans, the people that are already supporting Nintendo or who always love Nintendo. And just
Got to start somewhere. I mean, someone's gonna buy the Wii U.
Yeah,
It's gonna be them probably.
yeah, and it's just kind of like a special show just for them. Whereas Microsoft and Sony and even Nintendo in the past, they're gonna do these big spectacles to get everyone's attention. And now Nintendo's just like, we know where we're at. We're just gonna focus on the people that are actually gonna give us money.
Well, Nintendo's in an interesting spot because they have you have knowns like Smash Brothers. But you don't have known unknowns like the sequels that are inevitable. It's just knowns and then whatever they throw at you.
And even the knowns, we're not sure if they're gonna have Project X and then the Fire Emblem versus Shimigami Tensei. These are games they revealed not even last year, maybe the year before. I want to say, or maybe it was last year, but still, we haven't heard a word since their reveals at E3 from Nintendo. Yoshi's Yarn. What else?
Yoshi's Yarn. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
Yeah, instead we got that shitty Yoshi 3DS game. Yoshi's Island Bullshits 2 or whatever.
I'm just trying to forget that exists. There are people who like that, and I'm kind of happy for them, but at the same time, I don't understand it. I don't understand how you can like that game.
Those are the blind loyalists. Oh, it's a new Nintendo game. Oh my god.
What would be really good is a new Advance Wars or Fire Emblem, but I prefer Advance Wars at this point. That'd be so good.
Overdue.
I put so much into Fire Emblem Awakening that Advance Wars now, please.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect time, right against Call of Duty's Advanced Warfare Fighter.
God.
Warface Fighter.
Warface Fighter Fair. Advanced World Fair. Simply going to the World Fair from the makers of Call of Duty.
God, you guys are so fucking adorable sharing a set of earbuds.
Shut up.
I was going to try and not talk right now because I have someone doing drywall in this house, but you guys aren't continuing this conversation, so let's move on to Mortal Kombat 10. Is it 10 or is it X?
It's X.
I say 10.
It's X.
Screw that.
Extreme.
But any of you like that? I love the last one, and I'm not really a huge series fan, but for some reason I decided to play that and just loved the story in all of its ridiculousness.
I think the story was a retelling of all the old Mortal Kombat too, wasn't it? For the last Mortal Kombat 9,
I mean, it kind of spanned a ton of the canon and seemed to redo stuff, but yeah.
I think essentially it was a reboot. That's why they just went back with the Mortal Kombat name and everything. But I think it's cool. It was funny. I was going over just all the genres that are gonna be E3 to prep our award stuff for nominations. And 2 weeks ago, I didn't even have a fighting game category, and now I do because there's 5 or 6 fighting games that will be at E3. Killer Instinct Season 2, Persona 4 Arena Ultimate.
Yeah.
And a couple other things. It's just neat to see a resurgence of fighting games every 2 or 3 years. Last year it was barely anything. It was Killer Instinct and some other piece of shit. Oh wait, no, that was Dive Kick. Never mind. That wasn't a piece of shit. But yeah, no, it's kind of cool to see Mortal Kombat come back. Just in time for well, not really just in time for, but there's a new Street Fighter update that's coming out, or it's already out. I think it's out now.
It's releasing over like a month-long period, so
Yeah, I mean the audience that's there for the fighting game community, they're so hardcore, they're so into this, and I'm glad that companies are seeing that we should continuously embrace them as long as possible.
Especially with a new Persona fighter, because I'm so about that.
Yeah. But for Mortal Kombat, especially, like, I don't know, it's hard to go off just based on a CD trailer. Patrick, Destructoid kind of broke it down what the trailer implied. Like there'll be X-ray, whatever attacks again.
I mean, yeah, to be expected.
Yeah, there'll be weaponry from the environment they could utilize now. Probably. I mean, it's just a lot of speculation until next week when we will see it. But it was probably smart of them to get out ahead of the E3 hype machine, which a lot of other game companies already did too.
They're doing it, and it is smart because then we inevitably have to cover the thing twice, even if it's like kind of the same announcement. But it does give us some room to digest all the announcements coming out, so that's good.
The insane thing is that for as many announcements that have come out ahead of E3, and it seems like it's been a ton. rumor has it that there's still going to be a ton more to announce at E3 proper.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, when I was looking over Twitch's live stream schedule and IGN's live stream schedule and Game Trailer's live stream schedule that went out today, based on what I was able to count and everything. I don't know why I said that like that. Based on how
I pulled out my abacus and I started ticking beads over, and I was adding up the game.
The point is, I counted around 30 or so titles that were just like secret E3 game or whatever. So there's gonna be a lot of titles that are still gonna be revealed. Some of them we know, we just can't say, and then there's a ton that are just like, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Agent got rebooted as a dancing game.
What?
Rockstar's Agent?
Yeah,
it's a dancing game.
now?
Yeah,
Dancing all night.
Yeah. I'm going to see Persona Dancing All Night, actually. I just want to see all the Persona games and Gravity Rush 2.
Fucking based on my count.
Well, I don't know
Say
how
the
much we'll
best
have to
things on this fucking podcast.
I know, it just comes out. I don't know how much I have to say about this, but Batman Arkham Knight got pushed into 2015, which is sad and good, but
Apparently,
sad.
It's not a surprise. Max,
Not really.
Max Scoville, he was telling us a couple weeks ago, just after the GDC showing, actually, I think he kind of assumed that it would be delayed because just the showing they showed us was just really bad. Like, it was very rough around the edges. You want to chime in?
They delayed Dead Dying Light, and that's not a beloved franchise, Like that was shown off working at E3 last year, and that's like a heckling game about zombies. And this is Batman. It's the third installment. They're not going to fuck around. They want this to be good.
Yeah. Did you guys hear that?
yeah. So I saw that same showing. I was in that demo with Max at GDC, and the demo stuttered along every couple seconds, and what they showed us was really vague. It was mostly just kind of open world,
Loser.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not the only stupid one here.
So what they showed us was basically just open world stuff, kind of how the mechanics work, but nothing specific. So it doesn't really surprise me that they're delaying it either. But I think that the consensus here with something like Batman is take your time, get it right. We'll wait.
Don't pull an EA.
Yeah, don't release a half-done game.
The one thing I don't get is, so they just recently revealed that your Batmobile can turn into a tank, basically. You have all these guns and missiles, and how do you use that without killing somebody? How is that even possible? I can't wait to see them make that work. Brett's
Just hand wave it away.
That's just the DC universe in general. I've been rewatching Young Justice. It was a really good cartoon based on the DC hero sidekicks, and there's this wolf character that was straight up get punched by Superman's child clone or whatever, and it would be okay. You know, just DC characters in general, they're fine.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
I feel like for
So-
as long as Batman's existed, they've taken liberties with the he doesn't kill anybody, that guy's not dead thing. So I don't know.
He's just sleeping it off.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, it made more sense when it was just like boof and like punching a dude. As it got
Boof?
darker. Yeah, all the onomatopoeic sounds.
Bamf?
The biff.
Oh no, Bamf is X-Men.
Whatever, man.
Onomatopoeia.
Or like anime apia.
He said.
Yeah, on who?
What? Yeah. So we can move on. Enough Batman talk. But the thing, let's just get away from that. The thing I've been wanting to talk about this whole time, and now we can talk about it, is Mario Kart. Are any of you playing it? I feel like I might be the only one in here playing it right now.
I want to play it, but I'm not gonna go out and buy it.
Oh, you said that last week, didn't you? Yeah. You're missing out, man.
I've been watching a lot of Luigi gifs, but that's about it.
I mean, yeah, you're getting a good amount of the enjoyment just by watching those.
That's
but
great,
I
too,
mean,
'cause I'd be playing with Luigi when I play it. So
Where was this when it was the year of Luigi? I mean, come on.
I
it's still the
know.
year of Luigi. It's the year of Luigi 2.
2.0.
It's Anno
I st-
Luigi 2.
I was never gonna play as Luigi until I saw those and then now I just want to keep playing as him because of his expressions, his death glares or whatever people are calling it. But
Yeah, it sold a lot for Nintendo.
I was just gonna say that it sold 1.2 million units worldwide
Which
last
is
we
impressive
heard.
based off of Wii sales.
What? How many Wii U's are out there? I guess I've not even.
1.3 million.
Really?
No.
Probably.
Every Wii U owner bought this game, and that's it.
I mean, why wouldn't you? You get a free game with it too. It's like it has me feeling pretty good about the system going into E3. I have to say, even though it's just one game, it's a pretty damn good game. And I'm not even into Mario Kart the series that much either. I think I like the 64 and Double Dash, and that was about it. So
Double Dash was such garbage.
you don't like that?
Fuck no.
What about it? Don't you like?
I am in the camp that I hated it. I don't remember exactly why now. I think it was just the whole dual character thing.
Yeah, I played it a lot, but it bothered me. The dual character thing.
64 and the SNES version were my favorite, and Game
Yeah.
Boy Advance. What were we talking about? Oh, right, Mario Kart.
Just the series. So it's like I don't even know what's changed other than that it looks visually way better. It looks stunning
I like
sometimes,
how this game really looks like a next-gen game.
but it
Yeah.
does.
Whereas
It
we're getting
does.
so many games now that are just like, it's a slight improvement or whatever. But I think the only other game that's as beautiful technically is, like, I would say Infamous Second Son right now.
A lot of lens flare and bloom, which sometimes actually looks okay, and sometimes looks like somebody got a little too happy with it.
Well, they've also got some really good like depth of field effects too.
Yeah, yeah.
When you're like flying through the air and way off in the distance, it's sort of hazy. It looks so good,
Or you're
especially with the replays.
you're like driving 90 degrees perpendicular to the ground, like on those gravity tracks, and like you're going
Those
around
things-
like a curve in the air, and it's pretty crazy.
Those things are actually a really good feature. It's I don't know. Other than it's just fun.
And the weirdest
play.
thing is too, because of all the new features, they actually revamped the old tracks. So it's like the first time that it's not just like, okay, here's the old tracks, here's the new tracks. It's like everything's redone from scratch,
Everything feels pretty new,
Yeah.
even the old
except for
stuff.
those terrible arena battle stages.
Yeah. So in this one, you're like literally just playing on the regular courses, and you can
Yeah.
turn around if you
They
want.
shortened them
It's
a little
not
bit.
as
Like that's it.
What were they
it's
thinking?
okay. It's just
Like-
okay.
How are they having fun in this mode? Like when they were playtesting this and creating it? Like I don't understand.
You really
What the hell?
need it's decent if you play it online because people are usually good enough to come find you. But if you're playing against like the AI, yeah, it's stupid.
Is it still 4 players online for battle mode?
12.
Oh, for battle mode?
Yeah, it's just like the races are 12. Yeah, so yeah,
Huh.
it does work out in that regard. But I mean, I would
Okay.
like them to do.
I mean, if
DLC
it's like
that's
that,
like a
then
classic.
I guess that makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean, even when I previewed it, there was like 4 of us playing. So yeah, with 12 people filling it up, it might be a lot better. But
Mhm.
still, I missed the battle stages.
It's not as good as the classic. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good though. You should play it. Brett, I want to hear about this new Homefront, which actually surprisingly seems like it might be decent.
Does it?
Does it?
I think so. The mechanics, the mechanics sound good. Like they sound like just the guerrilla tactics that was fun in Red Faction.
So yeah,
Is Guerrilla
Homefront.
developing it?
Yes, Steven. Yes, they are.
Homefront,
Satisfied?
the Revolution, developed by Crytek,
The Revolution.
That part's.
takes place after the original game. I believe I never played the original. I heard it was not very bueno.
The original didn't even finish. Horrible cliffhanger.
Did it? How did it?
Instead of
cliffhang?
saying Homefront the Revolution, can we just call it Red Dawn 3?
If you want.
After about 3 or 4 hours of playing it, really like just dealing with all this bullshit. Probably longer because I died so many times from the bad AI. You get to San Francisco, you get to the Golden Gate Bridge or one of the bridges. You see like planes and jet fighters and all these things like just going out, all out warfare all around San Francisco Bay. And then black screen. Credits roll.
That's
Biggest fucking teases.
Well, spoiler alert, what happened is that North Korea occupied the U.S. The revolution takes place in Philadelphia 4 years after the
in
initial
Philadelphia.
conflict.
I get it because the revolution and it's another revolution, American history. Oh, they're so
Oh.
clever.
Good. Continue, Brett. We'll just interject with our snarky commentary as you want.
So you're basically oppressed. You're in a controlled state by the North Koreans, and
Help, I'm being oppressed.
you guys got me all flustered. God damn it! And so it's
Tell us how good this game is, Brett. Come on.
what we saw was what is referred to as a vertical slice in the industry, where it was a very controlled demo. It was actually only hands-on for judges, and so I only got to like see it, but it was everything played very perfectly in the demo, if you know what I mean.
You're still excited about this when it was just a scripted.
Tell us about like the combat because that sounded interesting. Like that's the thing.
So living in this North Korea controlled state, you're obviously the underdog, and you can't just kind of go in there. You can't just go in there guns blazing. You have to make like IEDs and stuff like that. There was a part of the demo where you took a remote controlled car, you strapped an IED to it, you drove it underneath one of the North Korean like vehicles that was cruising along doing whatever, and so you like hid under there for cover so that the guards didn't see it and like shoot it or whatever, and then you drove it up to like a gate and you blew that up, and that caused a bunch of panic and mayhem. And
Does this sound good to you?
You know, North Koreans sometimes have to eat grass because they don't have enough food. How are they going to invade the United States and take over? Fucking dumb bullshit.
I think you've ruined me on this now. All your negativity. I don't care for the game anymore.
This takes place in 2020 something. You have no idea what's going to happen in the next 6 years, Steven.
Oh yeah, they're going to stop eating grass 6 years from now because everything's going to get fucking better.
They might even have a missile that can go more than 20 feet.
You might be the one eating grass in 6 years, Steven.
Destructoid, E3 unfiltered coverage.
Everything is bullshit.
I don't know. Like, the game has a very lofty premise.
I heard someone comparing what you guys saw essentially to being what people got the experience of the original Crisis, where it was open world and a lot of freedom to it, over what Crisis would eventually become another Call of Duty Me Too game or whatever, with the linear scripted shit. I mean, how do you think? Is that accurate? Saying
I never had a machine that could run Crisis.
Well, it's open.
do now
right?
the Xbox 360 can run it.
I'm not gonna fucking download Crisis now. What was that, Jordan?
I said the gameplay is open-ended, though, isn't it? You can go about things how you please, how you want.
Yes. I'm
Okay.
not.
In
I'm
as
not
much
really
as they show, not in as much as it's actually going to happen.
exactly.
Okay.
It's
I don't know how that's gonna.
watchdogs.
I don't know how that's gonna really play out if like different sections of if like Philadelphia is sectioned off to different areas that you kind of like hit one and then you hit another, or how exactly that's gonna work. There's like security cameras and stuff and like guards that you can take out that give you. I think they're called uprising points. Which kind of puts that whole area like in an increasingly higher state of I don't know panic or whatever, and then you uprise. I don't fucking know.
They
It's
should do an Always Sunny episode where they play this
Yes.
game and then the gang thinks that the North Koreans have invaded and taken over and they like hole up in the bar.
probably be better than
Let's
a lot of the episodes
watch.
this season. Last season of Sunny was trash.
What?
It
I haven't
was
seen it yet. Don't ruin this for me, Brett. Don't ruin the dream.
big Sunny fan here. Last season was not very good.
You just hate everything.
Yeah, Brett, stop hating on things.
Steven, you hate anime, man.
Shots fired. It's true,
Hating
Steven.
cartoons.
Oh,
Didn't Steven just say he's excited for anything Persona?
That doesn't count.
No, it's selective hate. I hate all anime that makes people upset.
Oh Christ.
Jordan,
Well,
end the
I-
show, please.
I was just about to say we got to end on this really down note. So, thanks for listening. If you made it this far, we're thankful.
we won't be here next week.
Oh, that's right.
At least because we will all be at E3 in some form, covering the show. We will have content coming up on YouTube here with a ton of videos from Max and our producer Bill Zoker, and then me, Steven, Brett, and a bunch of other writers will be writing for Destructoid.com. We'll be, doing all sorts of E3 content for you,
Unfiltered.
unfiltered.
Follow us
Hashtag
on
content.
Twitter and I'll shit on everything.
Our coverage will be, what do we call it? E3 unfiltered. We're- no
E3 raw
bullshit.
dogging it.
No
That's
bullshit.
Bill's take on it. Yeah,
That's
that's pretty much what we'll be doing.
a preview of it with Homefront, the Homefront.
the
That would go-
home front, the revolution.
Homefront, the Homefront. If we think it's gonna be horseshit or whatever, we will call it on it. But if we think it's gonna be great, you will know we think it's great.
Like Gravity Rush 2.
And then after we call a game out on being shitty, you can call us out on being shitty.
Yeah, because that's how the internet works.
It's a great cycle.
Yeah. So check out Destructoid.com. Stay here on YouTube. Don't even leave your seat. Just stay here forever until next week. And then follow us on Twitters and things, and we'll be bringing you all sorts of E3 coverage.
Yay.
Homefront, more like home fuck off.
I don't think
Wow, Steven, that was a dark side I've never seen
Why do you-
before.
Why do you hate?
I was scared a
you
little bit.
Really hate?
I hate
Homefront.
Homefront because it's racist patriotic bullshit is why I hate Homefront.
You're like
Can't be high, I had to come into work today.
mellow.